the easiest way to tell the difference between an ENFJ and an ENFP is, again, going to be the intuition style. ENFJs are going to have that introverted intuitive auxiliary that's going to be hyper-focused on the future, hyper-focused on the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan, what patterns and behaviors need to take place in order to make that plan come to fruition. Whereas the ENFP is not going to want to focus on the future at all. In fact, a lot of times ENFPs forget to grow any roots and will blow away in the wind. I'm an ENFP. The ENFP uses extroverted intuition in the auxiliary, and that's so focused on possibilities. It does not want to collapse the endless possibilities of the future into one single future like the ENFJ's introverted intuition wants to. ENFJs are going to be much more focused on managing friend groups, managing friendships and emotion, whereas the ENFP, they're similarly very social people, but they're interested in their morals and showing up authentically. ENFJ is going to be focused on group consensus, social norms, and when you're not following a social norm, an ENFJ is going to point it out and make sure you understand what that social norm that you just broke is, whereas an ENFP is much more likely to break a social norm, maybe not even be aware of it or disagree with it completely. They might stand out as being a little bit stubborn in a certain way because they have an inner moral conviction that you cannot convince them otherwise if they're healthy, which sounds strange to an ENFJ, where it's like, no, it's the group consensus that gives you the perspective on morality, whereas the ENFP says, no. Groupthink or group mind or whatever is not the answer. It's, the heart. And so these are pretty big differences between an ENFJ and an ENFP. Both of them are people-focused. Both of them are very bubbly, charismatic people, typically. But I think one of the bigger examples of their differences is in that intuition, like I said. The ENFJ, again, is interested in visualizing a future and then creating it. ENFPs are interested in visualizing all of the possibilities and are not interested in collapsing it into one. In fact, they will feel claustrophobic if their future is handed to them, or if they see their future. That's terrifying. Oh my God, that's terrifying. I do not want to know what's going to happen in 5 years. Oh, ooh.